So hi all, welcome back to Ego, the skill provider. In this particular video lesson, I am going to teach you something called how to use do in different sentences. Okay, do is a very common verb. Do is a very common verb. And let me tell you, if you know the importance and uses of do, you can frame many sentences in different situations also. Okay, so what are these? Here is something called my screen before you. Check it out. This is something called our topic of discussion for today is something called how to use do in a sentence. How to use do in a sentence. This is our topic today, right? So let me tell you, my friends, do is a very common verb for you. Like you have been using for quite some time. I am doing this one, I am doing that one, like that. So let me tell you that you may know one part of the story, but whenever it comes to other part, you may not know. So today I am going to give you the 360-degree approach of learning something called the do verb. Do verb taku ame the 360-degree angle ru dekhiba. Like how many situations are there that you can use do? Okay, so how many situations are there, or what are the situations where you can use do verb? Okay, so here is the screen before you. Here is the screen before you. What you can see, my friends, you can check it out. Like the do verb can be used in different situations. Okay, there are so many different situations are there where you can use do. Okay, so what are the situation? The first situation is called as a main verb. Okay, you are using something called do as a main verb. You can use do as an auxiliary verb or helping verb. You can use do as a substitute verb, and you can use do something called emphatically. You can use do as an emphatic form. So what are these? So let's try to find out the things. I'm sure you must have gone something called as a main verb, and to some extent you also know that how you can use as an auxiliary verb. But what about substitute verb and emphatic forms? Okay, so ये जो चारिटा जिनस आपण देखिले मेन verb रे आपण यूज करछंती. Lot of things I have seen when we are trying to speak. But what about the substitute verb and emphatic form? Whether you have used it in previously. So let me check it out. Okay, so today we are going to learn these are the 4 such different situations where you can use the do verb. এই চারিটা সিচুয়েশন রে ଆପଣ do verb ব্যবহার করিবে. Let's try to one by try to discuss everything one by one. The first one is something called do as a main verb. Main verb रे ଆମେ केमति व्यवहार करिवे. Let me check it out. First let me explain everything. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ explain କରିଦେବି. Then what I'll do, I'll take your question. Okay, then whatever the doubt you have, you can ask me. It is used to talk about actions in general. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ general action, nothing called particular, ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ particular action କଥା କୁହନ୍ତୁନି. ଯେତେବେଳେ particular action ଆସେ, obviously you have a particular verb for that. Suppose ଆପଣ ଲେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, so it's a particular things. You can say I'm writing. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ପଢଉଛି, ଏଟା ହେଉଛି particular things. I am teaching, ଆପଣ ମୋ କଥା ଶୁଣୁଛନ୍ତି. You are listening to me. So there are so many situations are there where you have a particular verb for a particular situation. But whenever it comes to something called a general things, you are trying to express a general things, how exactly you are going to say? So you can use something called a do verb. Check it out. What are you doing? I don't know. I don't know what exactly you are doing. So I'm asking what you are doing. It's a general things. Second sentence I have given it like this. He is very busy right now. He is doing something. I am not sure what he is doing, but ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ busy ଅଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ଦେଖିଲି. Suppose I am your boss. I am sitting in the office, right? So that time ଆପଣ ଦେଖିଲେ like ନରେଶ ସାର୍ ଦେଖିଲେ ସାର୍ ବସିଛନ୍ତି. ତ ଆପଣ କଣ କହିବେ? ନା ଏବେ ଯିବାଟା ଉଚିତ ହେବନି. ସାର୍ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି. କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି? You don't know. He is doing something. So basically whenever you want to use like do, you are talking about an action or talking about an action or anything that is in general things. तमाने किसी particular things विषय आपण कहूना. The first thing is gone. The second thing is that if you want to know someone's profession or job, जेतले आमे जनकर जॉब बा प्रोफेशन जानिया पे चाहउचंती that particular time we can use something called what do you do तो do verb देखौछ केमति व्यवहार होछ what do you do what does your father do what does your mother do what does your sister do what does your friends do like that so here what do you do basically do verb टा व्यवहार करा जाउची just to get the information about your profession suppose नरेश sir कोन करूछंती मो जाननी so in spite of asking like sir what is your profession this is something called very lengthy English so that is not spoken English रे आमे एमती व्यवहार like what do you do that means I'm a profession I'm a trainer I'm a retired engineer like that you can say I'm a teacher like that so in response to your questions something called what do you do that means I want to know the profession you are having right now right and the last one is very interesting check it out we use do to talk about studying subjects it's just like a course आपण जे कोन गोटे कोर्स करी के आज गोटे लाइक आपण इंजीनियरिंग पढिथिबे एमबीए पढिथिबे लाइक दैट सो फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स you are supposed to use do केमति मु लिखि देखंतु I have done engineering from BPUT I have done MBA I have done whenever you are trying to do something or you have completed the action for that you can use do suppose आपण मनकर MBA पढुछंती you can say I am doing MBA from this and this Symbiosis Institute of Technology like that all the things anything like that suppose आपण एबे PG करछंती I am doing PG like that so doing PG so do is used to just inform the person or the people in general that you are pursuing a course your course is in progress जदि आपण कोर्स ता आपण करि सारिथिबे then you can say I did that course like that I did BTech from this university like that so basically do is used to talk about studying subject or taking a course जेतला आपण गोटे कोर्स नै थांती तो सेही समय रे आपण यूज करथांती you can say I'm doing MCA I'm doing MBA like that I'm doing engineering I'm doing PhD all the things so basically whenever you are trying to take a course so that time you are supposed to use something called do verb तो हमें देखिले do as a main verb can be used in three different situations right now let me tell you something about what do you mean by do as an auxiliary verb is quite interesting also so present tense रे do and does lage and past tense रे did lage we use do as an auxiliary verb to make negative and interrogative sentence whenever I say interrogative sentence is the question mark right so you use a lot of question or something called negative sentence in your day to day life आपण कहउछन मु सेठा को जाई नथि I did not go there मु प्रतिदिन ए जिंस करेनी I don't do like this like that so whether it is negative or question mark you can use something called do as an auxiliary verb देखंतु I have taken some examples for your understanding I don't eat non-veg most of the time I did not like the movie at all he does not go to school or college regularly he doesn't go to college regularly like that so it's in negative sentence अपन देखंतु सबुडा नेगेटिव रे व्यवहार होइछि exactly same way you can take some example as far the question is concerned did you attend the class yesterday like that I'm asking suppose Murthy sir kali class join करनथिले so I can ask like that sir did you attend my class yesterday no sir I was busy like that do you study spoken English at ego आपण ego रे spoken English class पढुछंती like that or does he obey you like that then tons of examples before that there are a few examples I have given you for your understanding आपनकर understanding दवा पई मु आपनको केवल व्यवहार कली like the 100 things you can use because the questions and something called the negatives are endless you can use any form anytime anywhere like that so केवल आपण not not लगेबे and set auxiliary verb टा को first लगेबे then it becomes a sentence right so this is something called आपण ताको negative रे लगै परिबे किबा interrogative बा हम जोटा कहूचे like question mark रे आपण लगौछंती so that is the function of do as an auxiliary okay and this is something called आपण को दीटा जिंस हम कहि दिले first main verb रे केमति यूज हेले आपण तीनटा situation देखिले you have seen three situations where you are going to use or you can use as do as a main verb auxiliary verb मध्ये आपण व्यवहार कले आप जस्ट आलोचना करथिले Right now, this is something called substitute verb. How it is used as a substitute verb? तो गोटे substitute verb जेतले मु कहूची तो आपण ए भला वर्ड सुनी नाहंती. तो this is something called spoken English, right? तो एटा होची completely spoken English रे हम व्यवहार करथांती. Normally this is something called very casual conversation. आपण जानि छंती there is something called casual and there is something called formal. तो जेतले हम formal कहउछंती it is something called we are maintaining some ethics. And जेतला मैं गोटे बॉस को सहित कथाबार्ता हवा whenever you are trying to deal with HR guys, whenever you are trying to deal with seniors, so basically you become very professional, right? And something dealing with friends and day to day conversation ame basic casual व्यवहार करथांती. Casual means like there are so many examples I can give you. Okay, first try to understand what is substitute. तो आपण देखुछन substitute माने परिवर्ते, like suppose काली आमे गोटे मैच देखुथिले, it was between France and like something called Argentina. तो अपन देखुते lot of players were substituted. तो star जगह रे ये आसीबा ताकि ती कॉल substitution, right? So what do you mean by substitution? Substitution is something called like you are trying to get a form instead of something, you are trying to use something. Suppose देखंतु like आमे एते माने 5 रु 6 जण अछंती व्यक्तित्व, we have different taste of like food. तो आमे गोटे फीस्ट रे करिया पे जाउछंती, देखंतु मु वेज खाउछि, आपण समस्त नॉन वेज खाउछंती. तो एक्चुअली आपण किछ एक्स्ट्रा बनैबे मो पई because I am also part of the member of this team. So obviously as a substitution to non veg items you are supposed to cook something for me as a substitution. तो substitution माने जोटा हमें कहउछे instead of something you are trying to use something, that is called substitution. ता परिवर्ते, right? तो एटा केमती व्यवहार होउची, let me give some examples. Okay, here is do as a substitute verb. Very interesting. एटा होउची गोटे completely new concept for you my friends. आपण टिके देखंतु and I am sure you are going to enjoy it. We use do repeatedly, we use do repeatedly all the words in a clause, for all the words in a clause. तमने गोटे particular clause रे group of words रे आमे जेतले चाहुचंती यूज करिया पई do verb ता ताले आमे सेही particular words परिवर्ते आमे do व्यवहार करछंती. That is the thing. Do substitute for the words we don't repeat. आमे किछि किछि word ता repeat करू नाहंती, आमे किछि किछि word repeat करू नाहंती, से repeat जगह रे आमे कोन यूज करिबा ना do. And the star mark is there. आपण देखंतु what I have exactly written. Applicable in British English. मु आपण को already कहिछि there are two kind of English. One is called British English, other is called American English. American English अछि, British English अछि. आमे we Indians are bound to study to English. One is called American English, other is called British English. आपण बहुत गुडा मु आपण सिखेबी in a course of time जे आपण दुटा इंग्लिश पढुछंती. You are not learning one English, you are learning आपण जेतल कहबे history 1, geography 1, mathematics 1, सबु आपण गोटे गोटे पढी छंती आसी छंती बा आगु को जदी बे आपण if you are students so आपण गोटे जिंस पढु. Physics 1, different chapter ही पारे but physics concept ता गोटे 1, but English 2. One is called American English, other is called British English. ए जो do as a substitute verb is found prominently in British English. American लोक माने याको व्यवहार करंती नाही. That point should be noted. This point should be noted. Okay. So just let me give an example here. मु आपन गोटे example दउची. आपण देखंतु what example I am going to give you. Suppose आपण देखंतु एठी do you think she will recognize me? मु गोटे क्वेश्चन आपण कली, आपण भाबुछंती कि से मते चिन्हि पारिबो, ताले मु उत्तरटा कोन देबी? हां से चिन्हि पारे बा से चिन्हि न पारे, लाइक दैट मु एमती कहया कथा. तो मु एठे कोन करिबी से पर्टिकुलर वर्ड को recognize व्यवहार करिबिनी. सो हाउ आई कैन यूज लाइक दैट? मु जदी एक्चुअली याकू प्रकृत रिटन इंग्लिश रे प्रकाश करिबी, हाउ कैन आई स्पीक लाइक दिस? आई कैन से यस he might recognize you, he might recognize you. किंतु मु सेमती न कहि कि मु कहली yes she might do, she might do. Let me give the second example. Did you take your lunch? जदि मु ताको पूर्ण वाक्य रे कहबी कोन कहि मु? Yes I took my lunch. मते कहिबा दरकार नै. I did, yes I did. Does he go to school every day? से प्रतिदिन स्कूल को जाउछि कि? आमे कोन कहिबा जदि ताको पूर्ण वाक्य रे प्रकाश करिबा? You can say yes he goes to school every day किसी दरकार नहीं. You can use yes he does. I went to theater yesterday. ମୁଁ କାଲି theater ଯାଇଥିଲି. ମୁଁ କହିବି ଯେ ମୁଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯାଇଥିଲି. ନରେଶ ସାର୍ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ବି କହୁଛି. ତାହେଲେ ମୁଁ କେମିତି କହିବି? Yes I did too or yes I did. So what exactly you can understand? ଆମେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଗୋଟେ word repeat ନ କରିକି whenever you say, suppose ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ question କହୁଛି and ତାର answer ବି କହୁଛି. Suppose ମୁଁ କହିବି ଯେ guys do you understand me? ଆପଣ କଣ କହିବେ? Yes sir we understand you. ଏତେ କହିବା ଦରକାର. Yes I do. Yes I do. ଆପଣ ମୁଁ କାଲି ଯାହା ପଢେଇଥିଲି ବୁଝି ପାରିଲେ? Do you understand everything that I taught you yesterday? Yes sir I did. Over. So this is something called do as a substitute verb, and believe me this is used is only in casual conversation. Casual conversation because spoken English is all about casual conversation, right? So basically ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ spoken English ଟା ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି we do a lot of casual conversation. So ଆମେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଲେଖୁଛନ୍ତି କୌଣସି ଜିନିଷ it is something entirely different than I mean spoken English. ଆପଣ ମନେ ରଖିଥାନ୍ତୁ spoken English ବୋଲି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି actually. It is not about written English. ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ I am going to take you a lot of structures. Those who never found a place in written communication. Written communication ରେ ଆପଣ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି. Believe me, there are so many things are there. This is one of the example. ଆପଣ substitute verb ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ word ପଢି ନଥିବେ ଆଗରୁ. ହଁ ଆପଣ ପଢିଛନ୍ତି main verb, auxiliary verb, helping verb like that. But do as a substitute verb. Substitute କଣ? How it is exactly? ଆପଣ ଦେଖିଲେ ଆମେ short form ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି. ମୁଁ ଯଦି କହିବି ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ଖାଇସାରିଲେଣି? ଆପଣ ହଁ ସେତିକି କହିକି ହଁ କହିଦେଉଛନ୍ତି. ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଆମେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି how can you say then yes I did. ମୁଁ ଯଦି ପଚାରିବି ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ସବୁ ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ? yes sir I do. Over. It's over. So that is something called do as a substitute verb. तो ଆମେ କଣ ଦେଖିଲେ? Like I have already given you that we are going to learn do as a 360 degree view. माने टोटल टा 360 डिग्री हे जाउची. आमे देखले मेन वर्ब पढले केमती व्यवहार करिबा, ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब भी पढले बा हेल्पिंग वर्ब आमे को कहउछंती, and do as a substitute verb एटा भी आमे पढले. Right now let me go to take you the fourth one, that is something called emphatic. So what is emphatic? Okay, so what is emphatic? It's also very important, very interesting also. Okay, so this is something called do verb in the emphatic form. Okay, how exactly you are going to use it? Here is my definition. We use do and does for present tense and did past tense to give emphasis to the main verb. Emphasis means giving importance. आपण गोटे मेन वर्ब टाको इंपोर्टेंस सेतले दउछंती से समय आपण डू लगेबे. ओके, एंड द स्ट्रेस शुड बी गिवन टू डू डज डिड व्हेन ट्राइंग टू स्पीक. आपण जल कहउछंती स्ट्रेस टा का पर रहइबो? डू डज किमा डिड ऊपर. डोंट वरी, आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू द डेमो. सपोज आई हैव गिवन एन एग्जांपल हियर. आई लाइक योर न्यू जैकेट. आई लाइक योर न्यू जैकेट. तो आपण कोन कहबे? इट्स जस्ट लाइक न्यूट्रल थिंग. इफ आई से आई डू, मुझे डू कहूँ देखो मो वॉइस टा केमती मॉड्युलेट करूची. आई एम ट्राइंग टू इंक्रीज द आई मीन वॉइस, इंक्रीज द साउंड ऑफ माय वॉइस. मु कहूँ देखो कि आई डू लाइक योर जैकेट. सपोज आई से आई लाइक स्वीट, इट्स अ वेरी नॉर्मल स्टेटमेंट, बट द मोमेंट आई से आई डू लाइक स्वीट्स, दैट मीन्स यू आर ट्राइंग टू से योर एक्सप्रेशन चेंजेस आल्सो. तो ये आम कौन पाई व्यवहार करते एटा तमाने आम गोटे वर्ड शुणी थे रियली. आम गोटे रियली वर्ड शुणी REALLY. एटा आपण भी लगाती बहुत समय. मु गोटे एग्जांपल देबी. सपोज आपण गोटे मूवी टाको भल पाती, गोटे पर्टिकुलर मूवी आपण बारंबार देखते. मु पचारि सर हाउ इज द मूवी? आपण को ओह आई रियली लाइक इट, आई रियली लाइक इट. आपण मानकर यू बिलोंग्स टू केन्द्रापड़ा और आपनकर रसावली प्रसिद्ध, आपण भल लगे खाया पे. तो आपण जेतले पचारिबे आपण को एक जिंसटा खाया पे भल, आपण ये रियली आई लाइक इट सर. रियली तो रियली माने प्रकृत पक्षे आपण गोटे मु कहबी जे आई लाइक इट, आई रियली लाइक इट. तो डिफरेंस कोन? डिफरेंस सर किछि नै. वन इज समथिंग कॉल्ड वेरी न्यूट्रल स्टेटमेंट, आई लाइक इट, आई रियली लाइक इट. आपण कहबे सर आपण अर्जेंटीना फुटबॉल टीम को भल लागंते बा आपण मेसी को भल पांते, आपण कह यस आई लाइक इट. इट्स ए नॉर्मल स्टेटमेंट. द मोमेंट आई रियली लाइक इट त माने आपण जो भल पाइबाटा को वर्ब टाको आउट टिके स्पेसिफिकली कहि दियंती बा ता ऊपर फोकस बेसी हुए. वी यूज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स लाइक दिस. आपण कहते जे लाइक नो आई लाइक दैट रेस्टोरेंट, आई रियली लाइक दैट रेस्टोरेंट, ता माने ऑब्वियसली आपण जो भल पाइबाटा खाइबाटा को आपण टिके अधिक प्रेशर दे दियंते, स्ट्रेस दियंते। तो दैट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ हियर, नथिंग एल्स। ओके, मु आपण को अनेक गुड एग्जांपल्स देबी where you can use it also in your day to day life. I like your jacket, it's a very neutral statement. The moment I say I do like your jackets, I do like your jackets, pressure will be, stress will be on do, does and did. Okay, so she looks so tired, normal statement. She does look so tired, that is something called, look it looks lagila boli does lagila, because she is called third person singular. ame jemti koche I go but he goes, she goes, like that. So he does look so tired, ta mane ame pressure dele ka upare na does upare pressure dele ba force dele, but ame emphasis dele ba importance dele look upare. I saw you in the market, it's a normal statement. I saw you in the market, I did see you in the market, ମୁଁ କାଲି ତୁମକୁ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଦେଖିଛି। ତ ऑब्वियसली ଆପଣ ଲାଇଫ ରେ ଅନେକ गुड़िए जिनस को स्ट्रेस दियंती, टिके बेसी इंपोर्टेंस दियंती, आपण कहिबार लाइक नो वेटा चेंज हो जाए। गोटे छोटी एग्जांपल देबी, लाइक नो सपोज आपण मते लाइक नो काली गोटे मन कर हमर गोटे फंडामेंटल क्लास अछि, तो मैं आपण समस्त कहबी जे आपण जॉइन करंतु, तो आई कैन से गाइस यू कैन जॉइन, डू जॉइन। तो जेतले मु डू जॉइन कहूची ता माने मु इंपोर्टेंस का ऊपर देली ना जॉइन ऊपर, ता माने बहुत किछि जिंस अछि। आपण एते भाबिबे जेंति कहले आई लाइक इट, आई रियली लाइक इट, तो एटे रियली प्रकृत पक्षे आपण जॉइन करंतु, ता माने कोन, ऑब्वियसली समथिंग इज देयर, मु स्ट्रेस दोउची ता ऊपर। एंड बिलीव मी, whenever you are trying to use something called have to, गोटे verb अछि, have to रो मीनिंग जहा, do रो मीनिंग ऑलमोस्ट सेम, किंतु there is hell and heaven difference the way they use in a sentence. आमे गोटे एग्जांपल दे आपण को, have to is something called a modal। आमे मोहम्मद सर मुर्तजा सर पढिछन्ते, आपण माने पढि नांती, तो आई विल टेक अनदर क्लास फॉर यू आल्सो, डोंट वरी नरेश सर एंड प्रद्युम्न सर, आई विल टेक ए क्लास फॉर यू। तो have to टा हमर गोटे मॉडल वर्ब, जोटा कि आपण जन को जेतले गोटे कंपेल करंती काम करिया पई, तो सेहि समय have to व्यवहार करा जाय। आपण निजे कंपेल हुवंती किंबा काहा को कंपेल करंती, कंपेल माने बाध्य करिवा। सपोज आपण मते बाध्य करंती तू हेठी आसीया पई, यू कैन से यू हैव टू कम। जदि मु निजे बाध्य हुए जीवा पई, आई कैन से आई हैव टू गो। तो जेतले हमें गोटे जिंस बाध्य करंती, सो बेसिकली वी कैन यूज हैव टू। बट एठे बाध्य न करी कि मध्य गोटे कामटे करिया पई कुहा जाय, एंड दैट इज वेरी अर्जेंट, दैट यू कैन से डू कम। डू सपोज आपण कहबे 4टा हे गेलानी, आपण को 5टा ऑफिस बंद हबो, यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फाइल्स इज पेंडिंग, तो आपण को बॉस आसी आपण कोन कहबे, डू फिनिश इट। कोन पई आपण को ऊपर से प्रेशर दउ नांती, तमे काम करो न करो दैट डजंट मैटर, किंतु कामटा करिवार अछि, तो फोकस इज ऑन द सब्जेक्ट पार्ट, सॉरी ऑन द एक्शन पार्ट, नॉट द सब्जेक्ट पार्ट। जेतले मु सब्जेक्ट पार्ट कह यू हैव टू फिनिश इट अप, त माने मु आपण को जस्ट आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू, सो इट बी वेरी ऑफेंड, आई नो इट इज काइंड ऑफ ऑफेंसिव थिंग्स। तो आमे जेतले हैव टू यूज करछंती, से बेसिकली आमे गोटे सब्जेक्ट ऊपर फोकस करंती, बट व्हेनेवर यू आर ट्राइंग टू से द डू, we are not trying to focus on something called like that person, we are focusing on the action part। like मुझे गोटे एग्जांपल दउथले 830 ग्रुप रे, जेमति सपोज नरेश सर होछन मो बेस्ट फ्रेंड, तो तांकर काली बर्थडे अछि, तो सर मते निश्चय कहबे प्रसन्ना जी डू कम। तो एठे से माने मते फोर्स करनांती, किंतु काम रे जॉइन करबा निहाती दरकार, सेटा भी से मते सुचेई दउछंती। तो एटा जेमति माने साप मरिबो बाड़ी भांगिबोनी, ए जो जिनसटा हला तमने मु करिया पे बाध्य होबी, किंतु मते प्यार से कुआ जाउची करिया। देखंतु एटा निहाती आसीबा जरूरी। टुमारो सपोज यू नो आपण जो ऑफिस रे जॉब करछंती, आपनकर कलकत्ता जने बॉस आछंती, तो आपनकर टीएल बा जीएल जो माने अछंती आपनक ऊपर, हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू टेल यू, लुक टुमारो द बॉस इज कमिंग, सो बेटर यू हैव टू कम। तो यू हैव टू कम माने आपनको गोटे प्रेशर दिया गला, but you know the boss is coming tomorrow and you guys understand the importance of meeting meeting the right time, so better come or do come by 5 o'clock or do come by 6 o'clock or do come by like that। तो do come माने आपन आसीबा ऊपर फोकस टा बेसी रहला rather than you। तो obviously आपन आसीबे, तो आपन को एठे फोर्स दिया गलानी, किंतु काम रे इंपोर्टेंस ऊपर आपन को कहला, जेमति आपन कहबे आपन निश्चय आसीबे, आपन मते फोर्स करनाती, आपण एमती कते कहउछंती लाइक नो लॉट ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स विल बी देयर, हाउ कैन यू स्टे अलोन, तो आपण निश्चय आसीबे, karan aji birthday celebration karibar achi. So what exactly you understand, this is something called emphatic form. So do can be used in so many different ways. Upon the main verb re kichi kichi janithile, auxiliary bi kichi kichi janithile, but today you know learn something called substitute verb. Do as a substitute verb and do as something called emphatic verb. Substitute and emphatic, they are basically used in spoken English, and main verb and other both written and spoken. But emphatic do and substitute verb, they never normally they don't they're not used in basically written communication. They are always used in spoken English because it's all about casual conversation. So this is all about your class today. I'm sure you have learned something called the use of do in different situations. So could you please tell me, like you have any doubt? I'm here to